Hi there, Monica Pitts here. And right now I am planning a peer to peer training. And it crossed my mind, well, a lot of times, that as you're planning your peer to peer campaigns, you're going to start out by making a list of potential candidates that might make great peer to peer fundraisers for you. And then after you make that list, you're going to want to do a little bit of homework on your own to see if they might be a good fit. One of the things that makes an ideal peer to peer candidate is finding somebody who's well networked online and on social media. And so I'm going to show you how to do a little investigating work to see if a person is a good candidate. I am going to use my friend Heather Stewart, who is Director of Development at the Voluntary Action Center, as my victim for this. Volunteer for this process. She told me I could, so I got her okay. All right, so we're going to start by looking out on LinkedIn. You'll see here it says that Heather has 500 or more connections on LinkedIn. So that's quite a few. Some people have more, but that is quite a few. And then it also tells me that we have 131 mutual connections. Now, as I am looking at these connections, it's not necessarily negative that Heather and I have mutual connections. That's good. But if my goal is not just to get donations, but also to meet new people that Heather knows that maybe I don't know, then it's important that some, if not a lot, of Heather's connections are not people that I already know. So it's positive that we have mutual connections. And it's also even more positive that she knows more people than we know together. So that's a good thing. So this is how you can look for someone on LinkedIn. You just search for their name up here in the search bar. All right, so then I would hop on over to Facebook. Now, on Facebook, you can see she just updated her profile picture. Aren't you lovely, Heather? All right, so Facebook isn't going to give you nearly as direct of a number as LinkedIn does. So if you scroll on down here, come here, friend, over here. Aha, there we go. So, friends, we have 72 mutual friends on Facebook. And then if I click see all, it will show me all of the friends that we have and all of the people, or not just people, but pages that she's following. So this will also give you an idea of the friend base that they have. They don't give you nearly as much information here, but you can at least see what's going on. And you can see that there's all kinds of mutual friends that we have. You'd think that we like lived in the same town and did things or something. All right. So then if I were investigating, okay, so Heather works for the Voluntary Action Center, right? So a lot of good peer-to-peer candidates can be local business owners. So we're going to investigate her business and see how well networked her business is. Now, while this isn't her business because she works for a nonprofit, we're going to use this as our example. So the Voluntary Action Center, you can see right here, 2,429 people follow this. So that's a decent size following for our town. I mean, I've seen bigger, but usually there are things like bars. So this is great. Then what you're going to do once you get here and see, okay, well, there's all kinds of people that you can talk to. Now I want to understand like how interactive these people are with her business, because some businesses may have huge followings, but they don't have a lot of interactivity, which makes them not nearly as awesome. So I scroll down here and you can see like this post right here, 43 interactions, 14 comments, 4 shares. That is amazing. That's great interactivity here. 5 likes, 7, 1, 7, 4, 6 comments. Okay, so people are seeing this content and they're interacting with it. This is a relatively interacted with group on Facebook. So this is great. Like, I mean, obviously, when we're posting to our personal pages, we're going to see more interaction between our friends on each one of our posts. But for a page and not a personal profile, this has pretty darn good interactivity. So I think that this is a good example of someone that if I were looking for a business owner, which she's not, I know, I'm just using this as an example, that might be a great person who has an asset that can help me build more followers. Okay, so then I'm going to hop on over. Now, this is not our Heather that we were just looking at. This is another random Heather, but with like, the same last name and the same first name. So this is on Twitter. Now, this person is following 952 people, and there are 46,812 followers. That's awesome. So if my Heather actually had this type of following and followers on Twitter, boom. I want this lady to do peer-to-peer fundraising for me because clearly tons of people want to hear what she has to say. So this is great. And you can see that there is some interactivity on all of these posts. So she is definitely killing it on Twitter, which is probably why she showed up whenever I searched. Okay, so then last but not least, I'm hopping over and I'm looking at the Voluntary Action Center on Instagram. So Instagram, to see how their following is going, you can see they have 9 posts, 181 followers, and 28 following. So this is a pretty new account. I mean, I don't know when it was set up, but I can definitely say that with only 9 posts, there isn't like, billions of things going on. And there's only 181 followers and 28 following. So if this was all they had, was this Instagram following, I would not think that this would be a great peer-to-peer candidate for me. But I can tell that they are well networked in the other social networks that are really big in our community. So if I were trying to have the goal of finding peer-to-peer candidates that would help introduce me to younger people, then I would really want to make sure that they have a great Instagram following. So Voluntary Action Center would not be a great example of someone who could do that, but they are a great example, if they were a business that I was asking to do a peer-to-peer for me, of someone who could easily get me in front of more people on Facebook. And that's one of the ways, like I was saying, that you can think about looking at different peer-to-peer candidates. You're going to look at their social profiles and see, are they well connected? Do people interact with their posts? It's right out there for everyone to see. They should have already liked your page. You can invite them to like you as a person if you want to connect with them more and see more about what they're about. And then last but not least, you're also going to want to think through, what are the things that they're championing on their personal Facebook profiles. So or any social media, right? Because if the things that they're talking about contradict the things that you believe in as an organization, then they're not somebody that you're going to want to have championing your cause. So there you go, friends. That is how you find out how well networked your potential peer-to-peer candidates are on your list for your peer-to-peer fundraisers. And with that, go forth and market with purpose.